everyone, welcome back. So I'm going to give a few minutes for people to get back in here so we can start the unboxing of the Metroid Dread Collector's Edition. Think I was on the wrong microphone there. Oh, okay, now you should hear me a lot better. Hey everyone, hope you're all getting back in here so we can get moving on the Metroid Dread Collector's Edition. So, like I said, yeah, it should get better in 10 seconds because you're a little bit delayed, but I was on the wrong microphone. I didn't switch back to my main mic. It should be better by the time you actually hear me talking now. It should be already fixed. But yeah, so we're going to get moving soon on the Metroid Dread. Yeah, it's a huge package. It's almost as big as the Fire Emblem. If you guys saw the unboxing of the Fire Emblem package, it is huge. Like basically, where's a Switch box? Ugh. Hold on, I don't want to glare too much on it. This is a normal Switch game. This is the size of a normal Switch game, and basically this is the size of the Metroid Dread. And by the way, it's a thick one too. Obviously, most of this is probably going to be the collector's edition book. But yeah, you know, basically, yeah, I know they sold out super fast. I was just lucky because I pretty much knew when my local GameStop was opening up their pre-orders, and I was there 15 minutes ahead of the open of the pre-orders in person. And the second the pre-orders opened, my name went on the list, and I was the second person. The only person ahead of me was basically my friend that works at GameStop, who is the manager of the store. He's the only person that was ahead of me. So it was me, then I was number 2. So if the store at least got 2 collector's editions, I was guaranteed to be getting a collector's edition. So hopefully we'll be able to continue on. So let me just do a quick cleanup of the desk where we unbox the OLED, and we'll move on to the Metroid Dread. Oof. So pretty much got everything cleaned up already. Like I said, we are going to be switching in like 10 seconds to that other cam. Let me just see if my unboxing cam, yeah, it's shut down. Give me a second. I just need to start up my unboxing cam again. It's so big, I actually have to back up the camera even more than for the OLED. Like the box on Metroid Dread is like almost double the size of the OLED box. It is that big. Okay, I'm just going to switch the mic again. Then we are going to continue on with the unboxing. Okay, so hopefully you guys hear me once again. Sound looks good on my end. Hopefully it is on yours as well. It was, here in Canada, this was $120. But it's not proportional to the US. What that means is that I'm actually not 100% sure how much it was in the US because it sold out so quickly, like on Amazon and the sites that you easily have access to, that you couldn't really see the price anymore by the time I got on those sites. So, unfortunately, I'd love to answer you how much it is in the US. I do feel it must be somewhere between $80 and $100. Like, if I'm going by normally what the markup is here in Canada on this stuff, it's probably going to cost you somewhere between 80 and 100. Now, I needed something to cut the tape at the top. So once again, just before starting, let's take a quick look at the box. So unfortunately, I did find a little notch on my box as well here. Little disappointed, more disappointed about this than my Switch OLED, because the Switch OLED, like, I would have liked to have the box, but overall, it is not the end of the world if I don't. Wow, this back art is amazing. This is crazy, and it's glossy. You can't tell there, but it's all glossy, which is really, really awesome. Nice side, back to the front. This is embossed, by the way. It's I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but it's embossed, so you can really see, like, basically they have like a metallic finish on Samus, which is pretty crazy. Nothing special to see at the bottom. And at the top, we've got the Nintendo logo. So I think we're about ready to basically open this up. Now, this is maybe not the best tool to be doing this with, but I could not find my pocket knife. You know what? I'm going to unstick it. No, I am not. Okay, come on. Sorry if I'm doing this slowly. It's because I really want to make sure not to damage the box as much as possible. And already I feel like I'm doing it a little, but we got there. So now let's pop it down and let's open her up. So from the top, as you can see, we have, like, basically, this is the filler with probably the extra stuff in it, and then you've got the huge book at the front. Yeah, I know, and normally I do have my my knife with me, but I think I forgot it upstairs because it's on my keyring, and I just didn't feel like leaving the stream for like 2 minutes to run upstairs and get it. So that's my bad, totally my bad. Now we're gonna flip it around because the tray is the other way around, so we're gonna take it out. This is the way I assume we're supposed to be taking it out. And here we have, so no, it's weird, the tray. Okay, no, so we were supposed to take it out the other way around. So let's look at this stuff first. So obviously we have this steel case, which looks really nice. Metroid Dread steel case. We've got nice Samus Aran on the front. This is not embossed, so it is all flat. We've got some nice art on the back of it. Let's open her up. Let's see what we have inside. You know what? I really felt like they could have done a manual with a collector's edition. I was really hoping to see, like, I know there's a huge book and everything, but I would have thought that at least for a collector's edition, you could have a nice little Switch-sized manual. Maybe it's in the other section, but I didn't see one in the description, so I don't think there's a manual. But that does feel a little bad. I'm going to say it does feel a tiny little bad. I was really hoping to have some kind of manual. But nonetheless, the game is there. Let's actually pop it out because we're going to need it for the Switch right after. If anyone wants a close-up, I'm not sure that anyone really needs a close-up on the cartridge. Hopefully it is zooming in properly. But yeah, there we go. So nothing special about the cartridge, but nonetheless, so far, look, overall I'm happy. I was hoping for a manual, but I was happy. Ho. Yeah, I know they waste so much room on the cart cases, but you know, they're already way smaller than all the other consoles. Obviously, the other ones, it's because they're accommodating CDs, well, CDs, DVDs, not DVDs, but Blu-ray now, or different kind of data discs. But still, you're right, they are still wasting a lot of space. So basically, I opened that up, got the plastic out of the way. Let me just put that in the waste basket. Let's see what's in here. Now, these are the cards, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So you've got a reproduction of the cover art of the original Metroid from NES. Metroid 2, The Return of Samus from the Game Boy. This is actually the first Metroid game I ever played. I got it on Game Boy for Christmas one year. I actually had no idea what the game was. I just kept seeing the commercials, and I was like, that's what I want for Christmas, Mom. And I had got my Metroid 2 Return of Samus on Game Boy. Looking back, it was probably not the best way to get into Metroid because of that game and how hard it was on the Game Boy to make your way, like, to know where you were on the map. I actually stayed away from Metroid for a few years till I played Super Metroid. Next, talking about Super Metroid, we've got the card for Super Metroid, which honestly was, I would say, my real introduction to Metroid. After playing this, I actually played the first one on NES because I had never played the first one on NES originally. Nice stuff. Next, Metroid Fusion. So Metroid Fusion obviously is the last Metroid I played. By the way, I didn't tell you guys all this for gameplay, but I haven't played a Metroid game in about, well, since Fusion came out. So today's going to be interesting. I don't think Metroid Dread is going to require you to know all Metroids before, like to have played one in the last few weeks. And I was debating whether I should try to replay Super Metroid like on the online service. But honestly, I just didn't have the time. So if I'm a little clunky at first, please forgive me. I actually haven't played a Metroid since the actual release of Fusion, which was like, actually I'm saying 10 years ago, 11 years. It released in 2002. So that's like 19 years ago. It's been a while. It's been a while. And I said I would try to make a better angle, but I didn't. Sorry about that once again. And last, we have the card for Metroid Dread. I mean, these are nice. There are missing a few, though. And I feel that at the price they're selling it, I mean, you could have included the 3 or 4 cards that are missing. But, I mean, I get it that the other ones are mostly remakes of the previous games. And they sort of just did the original releases. But still, I mean, a lot of people would maybe like to have the original ones as well. Now, we get to the biggest thing. And I agree... I agree that I would have liked them to include the real box as well. You are right. I would have liked them to include the plastic physical retail box just so I could put it on my shelf with my other Switch games and that it doesn't look out of place. Now we're talking about collector finicky stuff, but, obviously anyone who's a collector out there as well, I know we hate it when something breaks up the uniformity of our shelf. And I would have felt that having the original box in there would have been good for that as well. Oh, guys, by the way, Said, you really don't need to do that. Honestly, like I said, the reason I've never talked about that stuff, Said, is because to me, it's not worth it. And look, I'm glad that you're saying something if you feel important about it. But I just want to say I'm not. I don't want you guys to feel like you need to defend me or defend anything about the channel or any of that, because I'm a big boy, and like I said, I'm gonna go through legal means. I'm not gonna do this YouTube drama stuff. Like, am I going to talk up about it at one point? Probably, once the legal stuff is over. Because, I'm not going to get into it too much, but when you go legally, you can't really start coming out personally. I did discuss what I could be said and not said, but and there are stuff that I could have said, but I'm not going to because it's just not worth the time. Let's just have fun and unbox Metroid. But thank you nonetheless, site. Oh, you didn't need to time him out though, dude. It was fine. But thank you to Scott. But you didn't need to time him out. It was that's not why I was saying it. I was just saying that I don't want like everyone rushing over and I don't want everyone rushing over and making more drama than anything needs to be. Okay, so let's just have fun, play Metroid today. Like, have a good day. And actually, I see Anthony's comment that what happened. I'm like, I don't know. Are you asking me like what's the beef, or is something happening that I'm not aware of? Because I'm obviously not checking socials and stuff, so I have no idea if like stuff is going down. But it's not. Exactly. Anyway, it's just it's really basically a lot of projection by a person that shouldn't be projecting on other people. But yeah, we all good. That's what's important, is that we are all good. Uh, like I don't like I and I know, like, I see Jamie. Yeah, I see Jamie's question, and I know you're a super regular, Jamie. And look, we'll talk about it right after the unboxing. If it's really bothering a lot of people, we'll talk about it a little bit. But like I said, I'm not going to get into too many details because, like I said, I'm doing stuff a different way because I'm too old for YouTube drama, honestly. Like, I'm too old to start like trying to trash people in comments and stuff like that. That's not my gist. Like, it's never been my gist, and that is not my way of doing stuff. So let's get back to Metroid Dread, though. Okay. And if we need to talk about it, we'll talk about it later. We have like hours of streaming ahead of us once I've got Metroid in there. And by the way, I haven't forgotten to that we're going to put the game in. I'm going to show you with the game in. We're going to look if there's any day one downloads. Okay. And yeah, Scott, you don't need to time anyone out unless they're saying like really hateful stuff about us. Like, it's all good, but we keep going. Thank you for all the support, guys. It is super appreciated. It is super appreciated. And I'm going to be playing on my old Switch because, honestly, if we look at it this way, I'm using a capture card, to get the gameplay in dock mode. So whether I play on the OLED or the new Switch doesn't change anything. And I don't want to lose my save data. And I would have to set up the new Switch with like, my user accounts and all that. I don't want to waste like 10-15 minutes setting it all up today. So I'm just going to play on my old Switch. Later tonight, I'm going to set up my OLED, and then my OLED's going to become my main Switch, and I'm just going to basically transfer over the save data. So we're going to be playing on the old Switch for today. So basically, here we have the Metroid Mission Logs Journal de Mission. Awesome. So, by the way, I'm in Quebec, Canada, French province. So we've got a French bilingual version. Personally, I would have liked better the pure English version, but it is what it is. It says Journal de Mission, which is basically French for mission logs. So I don't know if anyone doesn't want spoilers of what's in the art manual, but I did intend on going through the pages semi-quickly with you guys. So we are all good. Okay, so we've got the opening page, which is Metroid, with what I'm pretty sure is Metroid in Japanese. I could try to translate it. I don't read enough kanji to be able to recognize some of these sounds. But I'm feeling like it must be saying Metroid in Japanese. Next, we've got the original design. Crazy. Oh, some of the original artwork from the original game. Obviously, if you play the NES version, the sprites don't quite look as good as this. But I guess this is the concept art that they were trying to bring to life. Next, we've got some more of the enemies and sprites, or artwork behind the sprites, I should say. Yet again, some more. And then next we get to Metroid 2, The Return of Samus. So this is the original artwork. Now, if anyone's ever played it on the Game Boy, obviously Samus does not look like this whatsoever. And I was really happy that eventually that game got remade on the 3DS. Which, you know, if you don't know, the 3DS version of the 2D Metroid is actually the remake of Metroid 2: The Return of Samus. So that is, you know, and finally in that game she actually looks like this. Then we've got next some of the sprite work. Yeah, I speak French. Well, I have no choice. English is my first language. I've explained it a little bit before, but English is my first language. Although I live in a French province. And basically, I have a muddled accent because my mom was German, and her first language was German. My dad is Spanish, so his first language was Spanish. What that means is my English is weird. And on top of it, I have a speech impediment where I'm tongue-tied and certain syllables are hard for me to say. Like another, you know, the another, there, I have to really focus to say it. If not, it comes out like a D. Which is, you know, like I said, I've owned it over the years and I really don't, it doesn't get me too much. Yeah, the book looks dope. Honestly, like I'm going to take more time to look through it when we'll be off stream. And I don't want to spend like 2 hours on each page, but there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of awesome designs. Oh, I love this. Like, honestly, I'm going to try to make scans of some of this and maybe make PNGs out of them because this looks freaking amazing. By the way, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've changed the thumbnails again this week. Because basically, I finally bought Photoshop, and I actually took a beginner's Photoshop class this week, which is why I've been having fun with crazy thumbnails. So I'm hoping you're liking the new thumbnails. They might get a little more funky from now on because I'm learning to do a lot of stuff in Photoshop that I didn't know how to do before. Hey, Treza, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, you can't unhear it now. I can focus and I can say another, but it's tough for me. Like I said, I really have to focus to do it. So Super Metroid. Now, Super Metroid is basically the game that got me all started. So I'm really excited to see what we have here. Obviously, Samus Aran hasn't really. I find between Metroid 2 and this one, she actually has pretty much a lot of the same design elements. I mean, this, a lot of people are going to recognize. I think Super Metroid is probably We'd have to check, but I think it's probably one of the games that most people have played, especially that it's available on the online service. I love this design. I really like this boss. I forget his name. I know he has a name, but I'm terrible with the names of everything. So yeah. Oh wow, this is nice. I want this ship too. I'm gonna try to get this ship out of the book. Nintendo's gonna hate me. I agree, Jamie. Super Metroid is one of the GOATs. Next we have Metroid Fusion. So here we have the Fusion design. Personally, I didn't like the costume in Fusion as much as the others. I know what they were going for, and it does go with the whole, like, you know, hybrid type costume stuff. But personally, I prefer the old Samus costume to the Fusion costume. Unfortunately, there's no Zero costume. You know what? I really hope that they eventually put out like skin packs for Dread, where we could actually play with like the Zero costume or something. You know, just like a visual skin. Doesn't have to do anything, just a visual skin. I'm sorry, Julio. I'm so sorry that I've drained your life savings. It sucks, but hopefully you got some good gaming out of it. Tommy wants me to speak French with a really good English accent. When I speak French, I actually don't have that much of an accent because I've lived here my whole life. So I speak French pretty decently. I can fake the English accent though. Like I did that regularly through college to fake people when I would go out. Like I would fake them that I don't really speak French, but I do. But yeah, it was a inside joke stuff. But yeah, when I speak French, I don't have that much of an English accent. I'm pretty decent. Because unfortunately here the laws make it that I had to go to French school even though I was English. So I did all my schooling till college in French, and then in college I went to English. Which is sometimes why I make a lot of spelling mistakes in English, because I don't write English all that much. I speak it a lot, but I don't write it that much, except for like YouTube stuff. Because jobs here, work stuff is all in French. Hey, give me a second, my daughter just came down. We're just going to take a 30-second pause. Tu peux manger des nouilles si tu veux. Ok. Papa va te commander quelque chose. Est-ce que tu veux que papa te commande un joyeux festin?
Oui, et avec des pommes dedans, là. Je veux pas fruits.
Avec des pommes dedans? Ok. Fait que dès que papa finit ce bout-là du vidéo, il va il va commander le McDo pour le
Ok.
Okay.
Papa,
Sorry about that. I just told my youngest that we're going to have McDonald's for lunch, and that basically, probably at the beginning of this of the stream, you're gonna see me order some Uber Eats McDonald's. So yes, next we've got Zero Mission. Well, we've got like Zero Mission and Samus Returns. So Zero Mission, by the way, is the remake of the first game. Some people don't know, but that's the remake of the original Metroid. Then we've got Samus Returns, which is basically the remake on 3DS of the second Metroid game. So here we've got some of the concept art, probably behind the remakes, and they've mixed them both together. Oh yeah, she loves McDonald's, and like it's a weekend thing. Normally we have it Friday nights, but I'm doing it special because since I'm with all of you guys, obviously I don't have time to go upstairs and cook something. So I'm gonna get her some McDonald's for lunch, and she'll be very happy. She'll be satisfied with that. The only thing is I need my phone. That's actually the camera right now. So we're gonna have to finish this part of the stream and get to the gaming part. Then I'll be able to get her Uber Eats McDonald's. So yeah, sorry about that. You know, like I said, family life today. Kids are home and whatnot, but I wasn't going to stop the stream. I was too excited about Metroid. So next we got, oh, these are some really nice designs as well. I really like that one right here. That's another one I think I'm going to be grabbing. I don't like this redesign. I like better the original one. Like, this one looks too mecha, and I know he is mecha in the game, but like in this version of the game, but I prefer the original. Next, we get to Metroid Dread. So we do have a section on Metroid Dread. So a lot of the concept art. So this is all stuff I haven't seen yet. So if anyone doesn't want spoilers for any visuals of Metroid Dread, you might want to watch out. But I don't think they're going to be spoiling stories. By what we see, they're just giving us concept art. Unfortunately, they didn't get the Amiibos yet. So no, I did not get an Amiibo yet. But I was hoping they would have them this morning, and I would have gotten the Amiibos if they did have them. But hopefully it won't be something super rare to get here in Canada. Resellers are not quite as bad about Amiibos here as in the US. So I might be able to get some. So I think, yes, there we go. So here we're having some of the concept art from Metroid Dread. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on these, just because if there are people that don't want too many spoilers, I'll give you a chance to look at them, and you'll be obviously able to go through the replays, pause it if you really wanted to look at any of the specific pages. But so far, I don't really see much that hasn't already been spoiled in trailers and the information we got. So the Excellion, which is basically, from what I understand, the sort of enemy that will be hunting us down throughout the whole game. Let me just look. I just want to make sure that there's no major storyline stuff. No. Okay, it doesn't look like storylines. There's going to be concept art. It looks like there's concept art on the different locales, but it's concept art, so it's not game art. I'm not sure it's going to ruin much by seeing what the concept art was behind some of the different locales. But just to let you know, that's coming up in some of the future pages. So hopefully this isn't too boring, but I wanted to do this so that someone who doesn't have a chance to see the collector's version can, you know, see pretty much what's in it. And, you know, if you were just here to see the gist of what the unboxing was, well, you know, it's good. You got to see it. So we have some of the enemy concept arts. We've got, like I said, these look like... It's hard for me to tell what these are supposed to be because we don't know the game yet. But these all look like more enemy concept art. You think Nintendo's going to come for the stream? I'm not sure. I'm not sure they can do much about you showing your book online. Like, I'm not giving you scans and stuff. I'm just showing you my book. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if Nintendo's copyrights it, you know what? They copyright it, so what you want me to do, it's going to be pulled down. But yeah, so this looks maybe more like some of the bosses, so we're going to gloss over those a little bit quickly. Like I said, anyone can come back and pause this if they want later on. Then we've got some statues. Then we've got basically this stuff here. All in all, man, this is a huge book. We're about, my God, we're only about halfway through. I hope no one minds. I'm going to start going a little bit quicker. Okay? Just because, you know, I don't want the stream to be an hour long of just looking at book pages. I mean, we're chatting at the same time, so it's all good. But I do want to eventually actually get to Dread. Yeah, exactly. It's free marketing. And I mean, all it's going to do is someone that wasn't going to buy the collectors is now going to buy the collectors. I agree, Scott. I don't think they would be... Honestly, I think the digital copy is going to be $60 today. I don't see Nintendo doing a sale on a brand new launched game. Nintendo isn't like that. Generally, they won't be doing a sale on a brand new launched game. They're all sold out for you, Traza. That sucks for the Amiibos. Like I said, I'm gonna try and pick some up. Like, I like Amiibos, but I'm not super sad if I don't get them. I pick them up when I can, but I don't go out of my way to pick them up. Like, I haven't even opened up the Skyward Sword one. It's still closed behind my chair. Like, later on, when we switch to the other view, it's still there. It's still behind my chair. Wow. So this we're maybe going to move a little quicker through, because this does look like these are going to be some locales we're going to be exploring. And by the way, we're at page 135. It doesn't seem like it, but we've gone through 135 pages so far. And we still got about, I would say, 30 to go. So this is really a huge book. Honestly, I don't. The earliest I can maybe see a tiny sale on this game will be Black Friday. This is and if I said a tiny sale, I mean a tiny sale. You're gonna get it for like $54.99 instead of $59.99, or maybe $49 if they're like really crazy and the game doesn't maybe sell as well as they would have wanted it to. But honestly, I do think this game's going to sell pretty well. Like, I showed up at my GameStop an hour ahead of time, and I'm not in a super huge city. And we were like, by the time the store opened, there were about 30 people in line. I was like third, because some people actually got there before me. I was super surprised. But I wanted to definitely be in the first, because I wanted to make sure I was back here by 11. Which is why I included in the original title, if I'm late, I'm stuck in traffic, because they were doing a lot of work on the streets around here. So unfortunately, there was a small possibility that if there was too many cars at once, it could have taken me quite a bit of time to get back. So here we're getting into a little bit more of the concept art of the locales of Dread. Like I said, I'm going a little quicker just to not make major spoilers for anyone that didn't want them. And also because eventually we do have to get to the end of this book. It's $65 with tax, but you get 300 reward points. Yeah, that's like $3 back, so it's not too bad. So it's like it's costing you 62. And we're getting pretty close to the end. We've only got like 4 or 5 pages left. And like I said, the last thing we're going to do before we end is we're going to look if there's a day one download patch for the game. And then we'll flip over to the regular stream. By the way, I might start out a little slow, meaning that I'm going to order lunch. I'm going to get things set up properly. And then we'll move on to the Metroid Dread gameplay stream. Now, I know some of you won't be showing up because you want a fresh look at the game when you're going to be playing it for yourselves. But ultimately, that is that. We are through the book now. So I'm going to set that aside. Let me just grab my Switch and grab the game. So I put Metroid Dread into the Switch. We have it right there. Now, like I said, this is my old Switch. This is not the OLED. Let's look. Software update is right there. Via internet. And let's see. Nope, there is no day one download patch for the game. So if you get it physically, you've got the version ready to go, at least for the moment. So they must not have found any major bugs through the playtesters or through the people that basically reviewed the game so far. And I know quite a few big reviewers received it. So I imagine if they would have found any big day one patches, they most likely would have definitely patched it out in a day one patch. So give me a second. I will flip back, say bye to you guys in the other camera view. Okay, so the sound should be back on my main microphone. Like I said, honestly, I am getting old because my back is killing me from being hunched over for all that unboxing. It's killing me. I'm glad to be sitting back in my chair. Problems with getting old. My God. I know I got it to grovel, and I think Quan too. You probably don't want any spoilers too, and I know you guys are super regulars. So thank you for stopping by nonetheless for the unboxings. I hope you liked the unboxings nonetheless. And I understand perfectly anyone who doesn't want spoilers. I mean, myself, if I wasn't streaming the game, I would not be watching people stream it. I haven't watched people stream it since yesterday because I know there was a few channels that was streaming it last night. People got early copies from places that they shouldn't have because the reviewers won't risk doing it till this morning. But I know a few people that did get copies like from stores that decided to off the books sell it ahead of time, and they were streaming it yesterday. But I was like, darn, I want to check in how the game is, but I fought the urge to make sure that we could stream it original today without any of that. There we go. I'm going to shut the stream down now, and I'm going to start up the Let's Play stream for Metroid. Like I said, I'm going to start up the stream, but it's going to be a slow start because I'm going to have to put the green screen back. I have to do a few little adjustments here and there on different stuff. But I should be, like, the stream should be up in about 5 minutes max. So, you know, for anyone that stopped in for the unboxings that didn't stay for, that isn't coming back for the gameplay streams, I thank you so much. And you know, for anyone that basically, you know, for anyone that really wants background information on the slight dramas and stuff, maybe we'll talk about it later in the gameplay stream. But like I said, I don't really like memory cards and all that. Well, honestly, I'm going to use the memory card from my old main Switch because I already had a smaller card for like my Switch that I'm going to leave in the family room. So the memory card, Jamie, I'm not going to rebuy. So it all depends on your situation. Like if you can switch your memory card to the new Switch, you should be good. And if you, is it worth 350? I would say if you play mainly in handheld or tabletop, I would seriously look at one and see if you're going to enjoy it more. Like if you can get one at a store, if you know someone that has one, I would say hold it in your hands and see if you're going to get more enjoyment because the screen really is bigger than it looks. Like an inch doesn't look like a lot, but it turns out, well, it's 0.8 inches, I think, but it doesn't look like a lot, but it turns out to be a lot. I play mainly in handheld mode, so for me, it's worth it. It's hard for me to say for someone else if it's worth it. You know what I mean? Because I hate telling you guys, yeah, go out, spend $350, because I get that, you know, that's a big amount of money. Like, and like I said earlier in the stream, the channel budget didn't pay for the OLED. I paid for it out of my own pocket because the channel budget wouldn't be able to support buying an OLED and Metroid Dread collectors unless I would buy like no games for like 2 months. So that is not something that I was going to do. So I just paid it out of pocket. And but I was happy to do so because I get an OLED out of it. Like, I'm not saying that to sound, you know, oh my God, it was a huge thing, but I'm happy. I'm getting an OLED out of it. I get to share this with all of you, which is why I was super hyped for today. Which is why I'm like sort of hesitant to talk about drama stuff because number one, for me, it was like zero drama. Like, I really didn't give a crap for like 6 months, but there's been pushing from the other side where they keep bringing up the drama. And even though I'm like, I just don't participate in it, it comes back and back. And that's why. And the actions they are taking are getting worse and worse to try and hurt my channel and my enjoyment of YouTube, which is why I've started taking different actions, like I said. But like, not actions on YouTube, like actual actions in real life through different things, because like I said, I'm not a 20-year-old that is going to start yeah, and don't worry, he hasn't, like, and that's why I'm sort of, I come back to the subject for a few minutes, but then I move on because I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, I've said it before, I love doing YouTube, I love doing the videos. If one of my videos gets 1,000 less views than usual, I don't care. Am I going to try to do something to make it better for next time? Obviously. Who wouldn't? Like, if you're running a business, or if you're running a YouTube channel, or if you're doing anything, something's not working out, are you going to try to switch something up? Of course. If you just stay doing the same thing, I mean, that's on you, but what the heck? Anyway. Yeah, so I honestly, for 6 months, I totally even forgot that this person existed. And for the last month, I think they've been doing pretty much everything they can to let me know they exist. So if they wanted my attention, they're going to get it, but they're not going to get it the way they thought they wanted it. Because I'm not going to talk to them, like I said, online and start back and forthing. I'm going to talk to them a different way. I mean, I have free resources. Why not use them? But anyway, we're going to leave it at that for the moment. Let's close down this stream, move on to the next, and we are going to game on some Metroid Dread. Oh, by the way, before we end, sorry. Pre-order bonus. 2 Metroid pins. Now, this might be different in your country of origin, okay? Because I know sometimes we don't get the same pre-order bonuses in Canada or in the US or elsewhere, but these were the 2 Metroid pins. They are pins, okay? So they are pins. I don't know if you can see, but they are like, you know, pins that you can pin onto clothing, on a cap, on something like that. Mine are just going to stay in the package and be somewhere in my collector's box, most likely. Pretty sure there's enough free space in there to be able to fit them in. So we are going to end this stream here, and I'll be back, like I said, in about 5 minutes with yeah, they look like enamel. They look like enamel. Like, I'd have to open them up to make sure that they aren't plasticky, but from the weight that it has, I don't think they're plastic. I think they're enamel. They feel way too heavy to be plastic. So yeah, well, I'm gonna probably, like I said, I'm gonna order it on stream. I'm gonna be there with you guys when I'm ordering it. We're gonna chat a bit, and we're gonna get started slowly after that. And I'm probably gonna eat on stream when it comes here, because obviously it's gonna take a few minutes to get here. So I'm going to close down the stream, and we're gonna come right back for the Metroid Dread stream. Okay.